All right. Well, happy Monday, everybody. Excited to be here with all of you on this amazing Monday morning. And I'm going to get out of the way and turn it over to the amazing, phenomenal Millionaire Club member, Coach Fard Bell. Coach Bell, I'm going to turn the call over to you, sir.
Happy Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. Thank you, Miss Gardner. And I just want to start off with gratitude to you, Miss Gardner. I know this used to be a private call, and out of your love and generosity, opened it up to us and the whole company now. And it's making a huge difference in so many people's lives all throughout the world of Legal Shield. So thank you. Happy birthday to you. We are grateful for you and the contribution that you make in all of our lives. So thank you, Miss Gardner. Let's show some love in the chat for Miss Elizabeth Gardner, everybody.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
And I'm excited this morning. The word of the day is alignment. The word of the day is alignment. Alignment. So, who is at a place in your life where you're just ready for not just momentum, short-lived growth, short-lived results, short-term momentum, but you're ready for like a lifestyle of momentum? Who's ready for like a lifestyle of momentum? Put alignment in the chat. If you're ready for just a lifestyle of momentum, of fruitfulness, of productivity, in a way that's sustainable, it's contagious, it's duplicating, it's duplicatable, and it's just a lifestyle now, a lifestyle of momentum, a lifestyle of productivity, a lifestyle of growth, a lifestyle of recruiting. New recruits are coming to you on a regular basis. New recruits are coming to your New recruits are coming into your organization on a regular basis. New opportunities are just opening up on a regular basis. It's not something that's just sporadic and spontaneous or that one good time, that one good run, but it's a lifestyle of momentum, a lifestyle of growth. If you're ready for that, put alignment in the chat. Alignment. And so how do you get that? How do we get that more often, more frequency? How do we go to a place where productivity is just a part of it's like breathing for you. Favor is just like it's a lifestyle for you. Great things are just happening. The word is alignment. The key is alignment. It's alignment. And so that's been a huge mantra. My alignment has gone to the next level, to the next level. My team members are getting into alignment on a whole nother level. And it's amazing. The more I get into alignment, how things just flow. Things just flow when I'm in alignment. When we're in alignment, things just flow. I've had people come out of the woodworks like almost every day something's happening. I'm getting a quote unquote random phone call. Hey, can you sign me up? Hey, I'm ready to get started. Hey, can you help this person? Like alignment. Yes, Nancy Chaconis calls it ease and grace. Ease and grace. It just flows. It just flows. So before we talk about alignment, let's talk about how what it looks like and feels like to be out of alignment. Out of alignment. And for me, out of alignment, I know when I'm out of alignment when I'm trying to force things to happen. When I'm trying to force things to happen, that's a good sign that something in my life is out of alignment. Um, I know that I'm out of alignment when I'm rushing and it's more of an anxious rush. It's not just urgency and picking up the pace, but I'm rushing almost frantically. Like, oh my gosh, I got to do this. I got to do this. I'm behind schedule. That energy, we don't like that energy. We don't like that energy, right? That tells me that something in my life is out of alignment. Is out of alignment. I heard this said not too long ago, and it's been with me every single day since then. God is never too early. He's never too late. He's always on time. He's never too late, never too early. He's always on time. And I was just thinking, I was talking to someone the other day, and I'm like, I can't imagine, I can't imagine God being in a rush, right? From a leadership standpoint, one of the most effective leaders, if not the most effective leader of all times, Jesus. And I'm not talking from a religious standpoint. We're just talking leadership today. From a leadership standpoint, when I study Jesus, I can't imagine him being in a rush. Like, oh, I gotta hurry up and do this. I gotta hurry up and do that. And the question is, why is that? Like, did that anybody else? Like, you probably can't imagine that either. Somebody said he was chilling, right? He was just right on time. But one thing that I noticed is that when people live in a life of order, when people live in a life of order and a life of alignment, they just flow. They don't have to rush. They don't have to panic. They don't have to hope. They don't have to, they're not procrastinating, and they're not overly rushing, like overly rushing. Doesn't mean they don't move with urgency. It doesn't mean they're not moving with intentionality, but their life is in order. Their life is in order. And so I want to live a life in order, in alignment, in flow, and I want to stay in that flow. I want to stay in that flow. So we're talking about alignment. So, um, 7 points of alignment, seven seven keys to alignment. I'm going to give you 7 words that are really helpful with getting into alignment, getting grounded, and allowing things to start to flow. Allowing things to flow. So the first word is identity. Identity. Number one, identity. Number two, vision. Number two is vision. And these are like 7 checkpoints, like a checklist. This is like my daily checklist. Vision. Number 3, goals. Goals. Number 3, goals. Number 4, plans. PLANS, plans. Number 4, plans. Number 5, action. Action. Number 5, action. Number 6, accountability. Number 6, accountability. And number 7, associations. Number 7, associations. Identity, vision, goals, plans, action, accountability, and associations. Identity, vision, goals, plans, actions, accountability, and associations. I call it the IVGPA formula. It's like A cubed, A to the third power. IVGPA formula. And so identity, the first piece is, who am I? Who are you? Answering that question, who am I? A lot of times we get out of alignment. Either way, Miss Laura, singular is fine. Singular. A lot of times we get out of alignment because we might have a vision, or we might have some goals, we might have plans, we might be taking action, we might even have accountability associations, but our identity is out of alignment. We're not in alignment with who we are. Who am I? Who was I born to be? And I've found in my life that when that one is missing and it's number one on the list, when I'm not centered in who I am, who I'm born to be, Dr. Miles Monroe said it best. He said, success in the wrong assignment is still failure. Success in the wrong assignment is still failure. So if you can, when you're not aligned with who you are and the vision that you've been given for your life, you can achieve goals that are out of alignment with who you are and what you're called to do in this world, outside of your vision, your purpose, and now you're successful in the wrong assignment. What a life of regret. I spent my whole life succeeding in the wrong assignment. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. So identity reminds me of who I am. Who I am. It protects me. Identity protects us. It protects us from being somebody we're not. It protects us from getting caught up in things we were never meant to caught up in. Identity keeps us grounded and centered in authority and power. We can tap into our own strength. Identity allows us to be who we truly are and not get caught up in comparing ourselves to other people or jealousy or anything that just starts to slow us down and it eats us up on the inside. So number one is identity. Who am I? And for me, I find that through spiritual alignment. There's no other place to find it. It's in spiritual alignment. Whatever your faith is, tap into your faith and find out who you were created to be. Ask about who you were created to be. Who am I? Who is my creator? What was I born here? Who was I born to be? What am I capable of? And that will line you up, fill you up with power, a sense of self-worth. Some of you know my story. By the time I was 6 years old, I didn't want to be alive. My identity was out of alignment. I didn't know who I was. I didn't think I had any worth. I didn't know my value. I didn't know I had gifts inside of me. I didn't know that there was something I was put on this earth to do. I didn't know there was purpose in my life. I didn't know that I had gifts that were hidden inside of me that I needed to mine like a gold mine. I didn't know that there was power in me. I didn't know there was a significant impact that my life would make in this world, and I almost didn't want to be here. I didn't think I wanted to be here anymore because my identity was out of alignment. Nobody taught me who I was. And guess what? Nobody can teach you who you are except the one who created you. So once I learned to tap in and seek my creator for who I was created to be and what I'm capable of, and it started to give me a sense of purpose. My identity gave me purpose and significance and posture. And that's where your power comes from. That's where you get powered up. You start walking in authority. Like when you start realizing who you are, like nobody can tell you anything. Like, you're tapped in. So that's the first one. The first place to get in alignment is identity. And, I used to seek my identity from other people's opinions. I used to seek my identity from the media, from the world, even from my parents. And none of those were right. None of it was right. Every time I sought my identity outside of my creator, I was off track, and everything else in the 7 pieces is off track, like a train, the cars of a train. These are 7 cars of a train. So that's number 1 is identity. Number 2, vision. Vision. When you're tapped into your true identity, you also start to tap into the vision for your life. Your vision will flow out of your true identity. Like, oh wow, this is who I am. This is who my creator is. This is who I am. This is what I was born who I was born to be. I have these gifts. You don't have gifts randomly, right? Your gifts are like a clue to what you are put here to do. Your gifts are a clue to what you were put here to do, right? So whatever the gifts are, it gives clues and hints to your purpose. Like, okay, you gave me this personality. One of my favorite books is The Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren. Purpose Driven Life. He's got an acronym called SHAPE, SHAPE, SHAPE. And it's about how you're uniquely shaped. Like, what's your purpose? And the S stands for spiritual gifts. What are my spiritual gifts? The H stands for heart, like your passion. There's a passion that you've been given. There's a reason you're passionate about some things that other people aren't. Like when you look at the world, there's certain things you feel like, man, this should change. This needs to happen. There's certain things that you love. There's certain things you're motivated by. That's by design. It's not by accident. Pay attention to that part of your shape. So H stands for your heart, the heart that you've been given, the passion that you have been given. A stands for abilities. There's certain natural abilities that you have, certain things you're just naturally good at. I didn't know there was a reason I have an engineering type mind, a structured type mind. I didn't know. And when the pieces started coming together, like, oh, you gave me this mind because I'm supposed to put strategies in place. That's a part of my gift. That's a part of my calling, right? Is to use my gifts, my natural abilities. Oh, you gave me this ability to teach. Oh, no wonder. It's a clue. Like there's a reason. And so as you start getting clear on how you're uniquely shaped, your identity, it starts to give clarity to your purpose and then the vision over your life. So the A stands for your natural abilities. P stands for personality. Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren is the book. Purpose Driven Life. P stands for personality. In fact, you can Google and take an assessment, a gift assessment. Take a gift assessment online. You can Google it, like for shape. But anyway, P stands for personality. We all have a personality that we've been given. My favorite personality assessment is the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. You can go to 16personalities.com for free and take an assessment. The number 16personalities.com and take like a 10-minute personality assessment and just get it clear. Just start paying attention to how you're uniquely designed. Your identity will give shape to your vision. We're talking about leadership this morning. We're talking about alignment, but you cannot activate your true style of leadership, your true flavor of leadership, your true identity as a leader. You can't just take it from somebody else. There's only one you. And you've been uniquely shaped and fashioned the way you've been uniquely shaped and fashioned for a reason. And when we get into alignment with how we're truly designed, oh man, you become unstoppable. You become unstoppable. You start seeing that version of you that you always probably sense was there, you hope were there, but you start to tap into that person. I didn't know this version of me was inside of me. I didn't know there was a leader inside of me. I never even saw myself as a leader. I never even thought of the word leader. I never even said the word leader. I didn't even have a desire to be a leader. I thought I was shy my whole life. I thought I was shy. I thought I was timid. I had all these thoughts because I didn't know who I was. And then when I started coming out of my shell, you might start modeling other leaders, and that's great to model, and you pick up certain things, but there's nothing like discovering the real you. That's where your real power is. That's where your real authority is. That's where your real impact is. So the P stands for personality, and the E stands for experiences and shape. Spiritual gifts, passion, your heart/passion. A is your natural abilities. P is your personality. E is experiences. There's certain life experiences that that you have gone through that are that God will use to introduce you to who you are. There's certain experiences that you have that are designed to help you discover yourself, and discover what you're made of, what you've been able to overcome, right? That certain experiences that help shape who you are and understand who you are and what's hidden inside of you. So anyway, when you start to align with your identity, number one, and number two, that starts to overflow into your purpose, and number two, your vision. What's your vision based on who you're created to be and your relationship? I get my vision from my creator. Like, what do you want done on earth? What do you want done with my life? What did you put inside of me and why? There's a reason you designed me the way you designed me. There's something you want me to do. And I've discovered that my purpose, the vision that's on my life is to inspire and equip people to claim their freedom and live their purpose. That's what drives me. That's what fuels me. It's what motivates me. It's what keeps me going. It's what gives me joy. It doesn't feel like work. And I see a picture. Oh, when I connect the dots on who he created me to be and what he's shown me that he wants done in this world, I start to see a picture of the future. I start to see a picture of what the world will look like as a result of my life, what the world can look like as a result of my life, and what the world will look like. So many people waking up and discovering who they were born to be and what they were born to do and having the freedom to flow in that. I see the domino effect. So my identity has given clarity to my vision. So number two is vision, the picture of what this world will look like as a result of your life's work. What does this world look like as a result of your gifts, as a result of your contribution, as a result of you doing what you were born to do, being who you were born to be, living the way you were born to live? See, how many are feeling more in alignment already? Like, as you get connected, like I'm telling you, there's an internal source of motivation that you can't get anywhere else. It doesn't come from the outside. You're tapping in from the inside. We tend to look on the outside for solutions, but the solutions are actually inside of us. That's the greatest trick. Thinking that all the gems are outside of us, it's inside of us. The person that spends their whole life looking for treasure, only to realize at the end of their life it was in the backyard the whole time. Acres of diamonds, acres of diamonds. The acres of diamonds are within you. So vision is the picture part. I asked three questions a few weeks ago. Who am I? Where am I going? And why must I go? Where are you going? Where are you going? Like, what's the vision? Where is your life going? Where is your gift taking you? What will the world look like as a result of you? And then that starts to flow over into number three, goals. Okay, I got this vision of where I want to end up. I got this vision of where I want to end up. I'm going to drive from Sacramento, California to Anaheim, California, Southern California, Disney area, right? So you got this vision, this direction, you got this picture of where you want to end up. So the goals are the stops along the way. Your goals, what is that? Identity, vision, goals. Number three, your goals are the stops along the way. The stops along the way that keep you on track to get where you're going. Okay, I got this vision to inspire millions of people to claim their freedom and live their purpose. Inspire, empower, and equip millions of people to claim their freedom and live their purpose. Okay, what are some of the goals along the way? Well, some of those goals are diamond, platinum along the way, right? I'm building a dream team. I'm building a dream team, passive income, to free my time to pursue that. The financial piece. Notice now this is where Legal Shield comes in. This is where business comes in now. It doesn't come first. Identity, vision, and purpose come first. And now how does my business align with my identity, vision, and purpose? Where does my business flow into that? How does my business align with my identity, vision, and purpose? Yeah, this is what I needed when I was a kid. I wish I was taught this earlier. So here we go. So now the business kicks in. Okay, so I've got this vision for my life. I've got this vision for my family. I've got this vision for my finances. I've got this vision for my health. I've got this vision for my relationships. Your vision for your life, your vision for your life, the direction you're going, that leads to the goals. Number three, the goals. And so, but not just being overwhelmed with goals. What are your top three goals? I recommend the book 12-Week Year. 12-week year, how to accomplish more in 12 weeks than most accomplish in 12 months. Wow. And it talks about picking your top three goals. Like, what are the top three goals? Maybe one of your goals is the monthly income that you want to create consistently within the next 12 weeks? What monthly income would you like to be at within the next 12 weeks from your Legal Shield business? Yep, 12-week year by Brian Moran. What monthly income would you like to be at within the next 3 months, 12 weeks? And when you focus, you can achieve more in 12 weeks than most do in 12 months. It talks about how most of us, when we set a 12-month goal, just think about human nature. Most of us get most of the work done in the last minute. So that means we have this 12-month goal, but then 9 months pass by of kind of procrastinating, and then we really only get to work for 3 months, maybe. Which means we only needed 3 months to accomplish all of that, but we gave ourselves 12 months. So I shared this a couple of weeks ago. Never give yourself a year to do what could be done in 90 days. Never give yourself 90 days to do what could be done in 30 days. Never give yourself 30 days to do what could be done in a week. Never give yourself a week to do what could be done in a day. Never give yourself a day to do what could be done in an hour. And don't give yourself an hour to do what you can knock out in the next 10 to 15 minutes. Kadisha said collapsing time frames. Yes, collapsing time. So we're now maximizing the time. All of a sudden, we thought that we tend to think things have to take forever, and sometimes things feel like they're taking forever. Anybody ever felt like your next level was taking forever? or you looked at platinum and you're like, wow, that's based on the way things have been going. It seems like platinum's going to take forever. No, it doesn't have to take forever. It not when we're in alignment. Ooh, somebody's about to get accelerated today. Listen, when we get into alignment, things start to look miraculous. And sometimes what we call a miracle is not all that miraculous. It's just we're in alignment. Miracles are normal in alignment. Other people call it miracles. We just call it normal life. When we're in alignment, right? So things start to speed up. Things that you thought would take years start to happen in months. Things that you thought would take months start to happen in weeks. Things you thought had to take weeks start to happen in days. Are we ready for this? So number 3 is goals, and SMART goals. But listen to 12-week year. It'll have you tap into what are your top 3 goals that you want to accomplish in the next 12 weeks. Not 12 months, in the next 12 weeks. Power in 12 weeks. 12 weeks is the new 12 months. 12 weeks is the new 12 months. So identity, vision, goals, plans. Now that you got your goals, your top 3 goals for the next 12 weeks, one of them might be your monthly cash flow, and you might realize, oh, okay, let's say you want to make $10,000 a month consistently, and you want to solidify that over the next 12 weeks. And you ask yourself, okay, what level is that? What level is that? You might say, oh, okay, that's executive director with a lot of production, or you might say that's platinum executive director making $10,000 a month on autopilot. You choose. What did Elizabeth Gardner ask? How do you want it? What do you want? How do you want it? Do you want $10,000 a month from a lot of production at executive director, or do you want $10,000 a month on autopilot as a platinum with four executive director legs, 4 legs, driving deep? It's not as big as you think. It doesn't have to take as long as you think. And then the great John Gardner gave us the formula I'll never forget about a plan: identity, vision, goals, plans. Number 4, plans. John Gardner gave the best definition I've ever heard. I burned it into my mind. I can hear it in his voice. He said, a plan is a written to-do list of everything needed to achieve the goal, prioritized, then scheduled, and then checked off. A plan is a written to-do list of everything needed to achieve the goal, prioritized, scheduled, and checked off. A plan is a written to-do list of everything needed to achieve the goal, prioritized, scheduled, and checked off. That's a checklist in itself. A written to-do list of everything needed to achieve the goal. So it's written, prioritized, scheduled, and checked off. What does that mean? Okay, so this is the goal. I'm going to $10,000 a month. I'm making a written to-do list of everything I need to get to $10,000 a month. I'm getting crystal clear on the plan. This is mental discipline. It's a mental muscle. It's focus. It's focus. It's a muscle. Henry Ford, I believe, said, thinking is the hardest work there is. That's why so few people engage in it. Ouch. Thinking is the hardest work there is. That's why so few people engage in it. This is the muscle of millionaires and billionaires, world changers. This is that muscle. This is where the work is. This is what most people don't do. They write down the goal. They might even make some plans, but they don't do the mental work of really thinking through the whole plan like an architect, designing an entire building, the details of the plan. John Gardner said a written to-do list of some things needed. No, everything needed to achieve the goal. When's the last time you wrote down everything that would be required to achieve the goal that you want? And this is why Paul J. Meyer said, ask yourself, this is why Paul J. Meyer never went after a goal until he planned it out first. Paul J. Meyer, for those who don't know, billionaire Paul J. Meyer owned 43 corporations, great health, great marriage, great family, great spiritual values. Uh, Business school named after him, Baylor University Business School named after him, achieved every goal that he ever went after. Who says that? Who says that? Who's able to actually say that with credibility? Like, I've been able to achieve every goal that I've ever gone after. What? Like, are you just a miracle person that achieves goals, or do you have a superior approach to goal achievement? And that's what I discovered. First, I was so intimidated when I got to spend time in the presence of Paul J. Meyer at his ranch in Salado, Texas. And I just looked at his life accomplishments, and I'm like, I felt intimidated. Like, I'm a trumpet player, and one of my favorite trumpet players of all times is Clifford Brown. And sometimes I'm so inspired, I'm like, oh, I got to practice. And other times he's so good, I'm like, I might as well just quit playing. That's how I was starting to feel with Paul J. Meyer. Like, he's so good at accomplishing goals. I don't know if I can ever be that good. And then I hired his CEO, one of his presidents, to learn the Paul J. Meyer system for goal achievement. And I started realizing that, wow, he had a superior formula for achieving goals. How can he? Wow. So you're saying it's possible for other people to become master goal achievers like that? I can't wait to hear Elizabeth Gardner's comments on this. And he said he never went after a goal he didn't accomplish. But here's why. I found out why. Paul J. Meyer, Meyer, YouTube, lots of audiobooks. Here's why. He had a goal planning process. He had a goal planning process. And in his goal planning process, he would write out, when he says, oh man, I think this is the goal I want to go after. First of all, he didn't just go after any old goal. He only went after goals that really, really, really mattered to him. He only went after what he really, really, really wants, because the work and the energy and the focus that goes into it, if you're going to put all that work and energy and focus into it, you better go after what you really want, or you're going to put in all that work just to not finish. Why waste all that energy and effort and time going after something you don't really want? If you're going to do all that work anyway, and you're going to have to pull it off, you might as well go after what you really want. So stop settling for what is reasonable. Stop settling for what seems realistic. Stop settling for what seems just attainable. What do you really want? So part of his goal process, he would map out the whole goal plan. And I have if anybody wants the goal planning sheet, I have it somewhere. I have it in the library. You can go, I'll put a link in the chat in a second, where you can get it. And if it's not in there, I'll add it to their resource library. But the goal planning sheet that he used was so specific. And he had the obstacles in there. He had, what are the potential obstacles? How will I overcome those obstacles? What do I need to do? All of that was in there. Basically the phrase I just gave you, a written to-do list of everything needed to achieve the goal, prioritize, schedule to check off. But at the end, he had one question he had to answer before he decided to go after the goal. So notice, most people set a goal, go after it, and then try to figure out the plan. He planned it out first and then decided if he's going to go after it. Plan out the goal first and then decide if you're going to go after it. There's a scripture that says, who starts building a building before they count the cost? Only to start building it and realize you don't even have enough material to finish it. It's not wise. So Paul J. Meyer implemented this superior process for goal achievement. And so he planned it out, and then he asked this question, is it worth it to me? Is it worth it to me? And if the answer was no, he started over with a new goal. So what do you really want? So we talked about identity, vision, goals, plans, a written to-do list of everything needed to achieve the goal, prioritized, scheduled, and checked off. But once you decide that the goal is worth it, is it worth this energy? Is it worth this work? Is it worth the results? See, this is how you can become more confident at your goal too, because you realize the work you're about to put into it and you still decided to go after it, it's already done. The goal is more than halfway done by the time you finish mapping it out on paper and you decided that even with all this work involved, I'm still going to go after it. You're already more than halfway done. That's exciting. And especially when it's based on what you really want. Who needed this call this morning? Who is this for today? Put me in the chat if this was for you today. So identity, vision, goals, plans, now action. What? We're finally getting to action. Finally getting to action. See, people that live in alignment accomplish way more in way less time. Somebody that's not in alignment, they get this order all mixed up. And they spend all this time on action. They're spending all this time working, exerting all this energy. They feel like, oh my gosh, my life is so overwhelmed. And this other person is living, as Nancy Chaconis would say, with ease and grace. I'm starting to accomplish more by 10 a.m. than I used to accomplish by 10 p.m. by being in alignment. Did y'all hear that? Who's ready to start accomplishing more by 10 a.m. than you used to accomplish by 10 p.m.? What? That's a different kind of life. In my prayer time, I'm getting ideas, I'm getting strategies in my prayer time because I'm taking the time to get in alignment. I'm getting ideas and strategies that are accomplishing way more in way less time. And the time I didn't think I used to have to take care of different things in my life that I used to neglect, the lie is being dispelled. Like, you do have time. You got more than enough time. Watch that video on YouTube called Put the Big Rocks in First. Put the big rocks in first. Watch the video on YouTube. Put the big rocks in first. More than enough time to accomplish the things that matter most. So, identity, vision, goals, plan, action. Now it's just, this is the fun part. You're just living. You planned your week before it begins. Elizabeth Gardner talks about that all the time. Plan it. Elizabeth and Gardner, John Gardner, they planned their year before it began. They planned the week before it began. Plan the day before it begins. So now we're accelerating. We're in alignment. So the daily actions just flows out of that plan. It just flows out of the plan. And then we put accountability in place. Who are we accountable to? Who are our workout partners? How are we keeping ourselves on point? This is where what we learned from Change Anything, the 6 sources of influence. Put that as a part of your accountability plan. Use the 6 sources of influence found in the book Change Anything by Joseph Grenny. Joseph Grenny. The 6 sources of influence. This is a part of that accountability. What influences do you have keeping you on track? Just keeping you in the zone, keeping you focused on the thing that matters the most. And go ahead and get ready to raise your digital hands and share what's impacting you most or question. And then finally, associations. Who are you around? that's helping you keep in alignment? Who are you choosing to surround yourself with mentally by the voices you're listening to, the environments? Brian Carruthers gave us the best acronym, GAME, GAME, great associations, mentors, and environments. What is keeping you focused on your identity, vision, goals, plans, and actions? And now we have executed the seven keys to alignment. I can't wait to hear what Miss Elizabeth Gardner is about to say. Take it away, Miss Gardner.
Well, first of all, I just want to comment on your ability to recall what's in every book you've ever read and who the author is. And I just want to say, oh, good Lord, I don't know how you do that, but
I got
phenomenal.
an internal. I got an.
You
As
know, one
part
of
of the
your
shape,
gifts. You're talking about
it's
a
a part of
gift.
my assignment. I got
Exactly. One of your gifts.
my brain is a library. I can't recall. It's like a bookshelf. Like, oh, where is that? Sometimes y'all see me close my eyes. I'm going to my bookshelf.
Here's what I really want to point out is you just gave everybody the formula. The formula. Everybody's like, tell me what the formula is. Tell me what the shortcut is. Tell me what the. I'm just telling you all, he just gave you the formula. It's like all of us have this internal knowing that if we've developed it and paid attention to it, right? Which is the identity part, right? You already know who you want to be, whether you're paying attention to it or not, or living into it or not. I think as we get older, we learn to live into it faster. So that's the first part. Then that's when you catch this glimpse of what's possible. And yes, it evolves over time. You're not going to get this beautiful, perfect picture the first time. And then you talked about goals. Now, you know, you hit on one of my big ones. But guys, I just want to tell you, when we talk about plan tomorrow, today, plan next week, this week, plan next month, this month, plan next year, this year, the reason is when you are in alignment, like Coach Bell just said, you know where you're going, you know what the goal is. What you get up and do today is already decided because it's decided in your identity. It's decided in the alignment. It's decided in the goal. It's decided. But when I hear people who say, I set goals all the time and I never achieve them, here's what is real in that conversation is you had an idea of what you wanted to achieve, but I will almost bet you that you did not actually go through the plan. Where Coach Bell's talking about, you actually didn't boil it down to, okay, what does that look like I would do on a daily basis? What would I need to do? Who would I need to have as my mentors? What would my day-to-day life look like? And how would I carry that out? Because, and then, as Coach Bell said, the magic question of Paul J. Meyer is it worth it to me to do that? Once you've done all that, and now it's pure execution, you don't rethink, you don't second guess your day, you don't rethink your strategy, you don't do any of that. It's there. You just go into activity mode and you plow through goal after goal after goal. That is that ultimate flow that you talked about, that you're talking about. It's that alignment, it's flow. Nancy calls it ease and grace, right? We're watching it literally live and in person right now with, Marty Wynn. It's like Marty Wynn's extreme activity is Marty Wynn in flow, Marty Wynn in alignment with who Marty Wynn is, right? That's what you're watching happen in real time. And so that it's not that, oh my God, Marty Wynn. It's like when you watch a Darnell Self, when you watch a Brian Carruthers, it's like Paul Meyer's famous quote. Well, he has a couple, but one, I mean, y'all know my favorite one, which is, Coach Bell can quote it in a second, but the second part is about him being a recruiter. I'm a master recruiter. It's who I am. It's what I do. I can't help myself. He lived his life that way, right? He lived his life that way. And so you just gave everybody the formula. If you want to say, how do I achieve anything? How do I fulfill my purpose? How do I, have an impact? How am I just live happily every single day? This is it. This is it. So, there. I'll turn it back over to you.
Wow, wow, wow. I love it, Miss Pam Carnes. By the way, Pam Carnes, Tom Carnes is in the zone, y'all. Like qualified, breaking her record for qualifying earlier in the month. Broke a new senior director. I was at the Houston Super Saturday, and they were recognizing all the new senior associates and managers and senior directors, and it was like Team Carnes, Team Carnes, Team Carnes, Team Carnes. I'm like, oh yeah, in the zone. And so I can't wait to hear what she's got going on, y'all. But I've seen her get into alignment like never before. Watch out for what's about to happen with Team Carnes. Take it away, Miss Pam Carnes.
Yes, sir. If you could unmute the other one, that would be good. The other Pam. Thank you. Thank you. I was transitioning from one device to another. Can you hear me, Coach?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, awesome. This is awesome. Thank you so much to you. And I was thinking the same thing, Miss Gardner. Um, like how does he recall all that stuff? I don't know. Um, but thank you to you. Thank you to Miss Gardner. Happy belated birthday, Miss Gardner. Um, this is so good because I have absolutely been in a zone. And when you gave the 7 keys to alignment and started with identity, I was like, "Oop, I'm writing notes today." You know, sometimes family, we are on these calls, and let me talk about me. I don't know about what you're doing, but it becomes routine from the perspective that we almost take it for granted, right? And then sometimes, depending on the zone that you're in, you feel like, oh man, that was just for me. It's because the student was ready. And so today, normally I'm moving around a lot in this time because I've gone through my morning spiritual alignment. I've gone through and done my walk, Miss Gardner, 45 to 55 minutes, 3 to 5 times a week. I am on target. My body wakes up even if my mind is like sleep and I'm moving, don't even realize I'm moving, putting my clothes on to get out in these streets by 6:45 every morning. And it's become a part of my identity, a part of who I am. And it's not by coincidence. It's not by coincidence. It's because I've been listening to this for a long time. And I finally decided to put it into action. What I've learned about myself in these past 3 or 4 months is that until I'm sold out on it, I'm not doing it. Like I go through the motions, but I don't have the passion and the commitment to it. Does that make sense? Anybody else know what I'm talking about? Like you want to be obedient, you want to be coachable, you want to be in alignment, but something else inside of you is not allowing you to be that because you got other ideas about how it needs to be done. Because perhaps you came to this environment with experience, with success, with all of that. Um, but this is a different animal. So when I finally decided to just do what I already know to do, Ms. Gardner says it, knowing to do something and doing something is completely different. Knowing what to do and actually doing it is completely different. So, Coach, all this IBGPA cube, IBGPA cube is so on point: identity, vision, goals, plans, actions, accountability, and then association. When I'm looking at all of those elements, I'm just seeing how in alignment my life has become with all of these areas. Like I was always good with setting a goal and even mapping out the plan, but not necessarily making the decision. Now, is it worth it? Am I going to do it? Right? And you know what it takes. Am I going to do it? People are having so much success around us that the only reason we're not having success is because we didn't decide to do it. We didn't decide to be accountable to somebody, to actually take action. And so what's happening on our team right now, I just feel like it's the harvest. It's the harvest of the planting, the watering. It's the harvest of the leader getting in position and being in alignment. I'm talking about myself. Coach has been in alignment for a long time. I'm talking about Pam Carnes setting the pace for Pam Carnes' team. And the speed of the leader determines the speed of the pack. So what's happening on my team is evident of not just because we're hearing the information, it's because we're acting on the information. It's because of Laverne Moore decided that, listen, I'm coming and I'm doing it. I'm running through Houston like crazy. She said, I was born and raised here. Ain't nobody coming to Houston and taking over because I was born and raised here, which inspired me because she's out in these streets all the time. I was telling our team, I said, I'm up in the north. I live more than an hour away from Laverne Moore. Laverne was just recognized for going director on July 28th, senior director on July 29th. Huh? How does that happen? Because you're focused, because you're doing the activity, because she's running. And I'm up here in the north part of Houston meeting people who say, I heard about leadership from this lady named Laverne Moore. I'm like, what? She's an hour away from me, right? But we all live in Houston, right? When we say it's a big place, we mean it's a big place. So just being able to identify and raise my standards has been a huge part of what I've been focusing on, and just looking at what has God put me on this planet to do. It was not to be mediocre. Miss Gardner said it. We didn't come here to be,
Average.
what'd you say? Average.
Average.
We
Average.
didn't come here to be average. I've been saying to myself, you've allowed yourself to rest in mediocrity. Why? Why? When you have the skills, every time I see Miss Gardner, now I'm gonna start crying, but every time I see Miss Gardner, especially in person, she gives me this great big hug, and then she'll say something in my ear like, you have everything it takes, Pam Carnes. Sometimes you need somebody else to see it in you as much as you believe it for yourself. Somebody else believing in you like that means that you're really usually underwhelming the skills that God has given you. So I appreciate Coach for standing by me for all of these years when I was wavering, when I was coming and going in and out, looking at coming to events. Yes, going to do this, and then go home and do the same stuff I was doing before, which was not getting me to where I desired to be. But the desire, Coach helped me the other day, and we mapped out Platinum Family. And when I tell you God is placing people in every organization to accomplish that, it's only a matter of time. And I'm not talking about the end of the year. I'm not talking about the end of the quarter. I'm talking about right now. So that's what we're working on. Back to you, Coach, because the other people got their hands up and I need to go dry my face and get ready to hit these streets.
Put up some hearts for Pam Carnes. Oh man, oh man. My favorite passage says, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. When you get aligned, stuff comes to you. Miss Randolph.
Any more than I could say after Pam just laid it all out. Man, thank you, Coach Bell. Thank you, Mrs. Gardner. Thank you, Pam Carnes. I am so inspired. Coach and I spent some time this weekend mapping out some of these very things, talking about being aligned. But if you all heard that, like aligning with who you are, then when that happens, when everything lines up, then everything lines up. And then you're wondering, well, how does this happen for this person and not that person or that? The people that are aligned and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing and what they are called to do, they are, oh, hold on, my nephew's here. They are, hi, honey. Thank you, sweetheart. They're all this stuff is coming to them and it feels like magic. But I love what you said today, Coach. Miracles are normal. They're an everyday thing when somebody is aligned. I love what Ms. Gardner just said, that it's already decided based on your identity because of who you are. You've decided you're. I wrote it down. I took a screenshot of it. What you said exactly. It's in the notes. But that just really resonated with me when we started talking about this. I mean, we talked about it before, but really lining all of that out and saying, this is who I am. And that when Coach Bell was a $50,000 ring earner, you wouldn't have believed it. Came to Kansas City and talked about this very concept, this very thing. He had everyone raise their hand in the room, tell us what their big dream and goal was, and said, you know, a lot of times people are wondering how to, what's the how do I do this, how do I do that? And we already know how to. We've been taught the how to's. And then we think, oh, I need a bigger why, I need a bigger why, I need a bigger why. He says, that's what we think. We think it's about the why. We need to change our why. But he brought another 3 letters to life for me at that event. And he's still talking about him. So he's consistent. And those 3 letters spell the word who. Who am I? Mrs. Gardner talks about this as well. And so does the 7-figure standard that Pam's been listening to and others have listened to. It's the reason I do these things, the reason I operate the way I do is because of who I am. And that's where people struggle. They think they're less than they are. Coach Bell says God doesn't make anything less than a 10. We're all 10 out of 10s. We often believe lies that we're less than that. It's not true. So if we operate in the truth and we operate in the fact that we are 10 out of 10, we operate in the fact that this legal shield blessing that we all have is absolutely fair. It's like there's no other place that you're going to find the levelest playing field than Legal Shield. I've seen plenty over my 40, I'm not that old, but 45 years. I've seen a lot. I've never seen anything like this. So where else should we cultivate the success and greatness? Right here. This is where it's at. So I just want to say thank you. And don't just watch out for Pam because we're ring twins. So we don't leave each other. We go together. So y'all watch out. Back to you.
Come on, somebody. We're raising up. We got a platinum factory coming on in here. Y'all watch this. Watch this diamond ship take place. Miss Jennings. I love it, Rosa Bailey.
I always forget to unmute. The thing that this was so good. Like you were really confirming some stuff and I got some revelation out of this. This was just amazing. One thing that resonated with me really strongly was you said when we get in alignment, things start to get miraculous. Miracles are normal in alignment. That resonated with me for several reasons. I know what it's like to live a life of alignment. But I also know what it's like to go through sustained trauma and complicated grief and how that can change your identity. I've been through a lot in the past, I guess 10 years or well, more than that. And it's just been constant. You going in and out. Like before you can heal from one thing, you hit with something else. And that's what sustained trauma is. It's like a constant. And even though I was going through those things, I was still pushing, I was still doing because I understood destiny and purpose. Miles Monroe, I met him years ago. He was such a blessing to me to sit down and talk with him. And I've read several of his books. So when you start talking about him, I got excited. Because I understood. And I've always believed in living a life of purpose and destiny, but I also understand that tragedy and trauma can rob you of that whole process. And the Bible says the thief comes to destroy and to kill. And that's like we say that, like those of us who know that scripture and we say that, but we don't really understand it unless we've been through it. And it got to the point where like I said, I was going through stuff, but I was still pursuing my purpose until it got to the point where the thief comes to kill and my son was murdered. And then 3 years after that, I suddenly became disabled. It wasn't a gradual thing. It was like that. And so I couldn't walk. I couldn't take care of myself. I needed 24/7 care. And what I've realized now, just sitting here listening today, is I allowed that to rob me of my identity. And I forgot who I was. And because I forgot, I haven't been living my life in alignment. And what you talked about today, my pastor talked about yesterday. Um, I was listening to, I woke up, I think that was Wednesday or Thursday morning, and that's when I usually do my devotionals. And I turned on my phone and I started to go to Instagram. And then I was like, nah, you don't need that this morning. And I was going to YouTube to listen to Darius Daniels, but a video came up. Um, I think it's Norman Vincent Peale. I don't remember.
Power of positive thinking, or
Yeah, but it wasn't that video. It was like a portion of video that was talking about basically it talked about getting in alignment with who you are purposed to be. So I've been hearing this message all week long. So I know I was in the right place at the right time with the right people. So I want to say thank you so much.
absolutely. Thank you for sharing and your vulnerability. You got lots of love and prayers in the chat as well. And we can't
I'm
wait to see what's about to flow out of your identity.
Yeah.
Ms. Gardner, I
I'm
turned over to you. I know we're at
well,
time.
we are, but I'm here because I want to talk to her. Um,
Ooh.
I've been in that place of massive grief, obviously, on a number of occasions. I certainly did not have a child that was murdered, and this isn't and this is an acknowledgement of your grief. But one of the things that kept me going is two things. Understanding, Coach Bell said in the very beginning of the training that one of the things that forms you into becoming who you're supposed to be is your experiences. And we don't always look at them like that. Because the second part of the verse, which I think a lot of times in grief we forget to look at, it says that the thief has come to steal and destroy. There's a but.
Yeah, but I have
But
come.
I have come that you might have life, and you might have life more abundantly. And so it's what we focus on. And this is not, listen, this is not, I am not saying ignore the grief. Been there, done that, still there, right? That doesn't go away. People are like, oh, it gets better. Well, that's just bullshit. It changes. It doesn't get better. It changes. But we also have to look at the other promise. He tells us the thief will come, but he also says, I'm here and I'm going to make it okay and I'm going to make it better. And it's like, so we got to hold on to what the promise is, not the warning. We got to hear the warning, but we got to hold the promise. We can't hold the warning. Does that make sense? And I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to everybody here because we hold on to the grief, we hold the pain, but we never open ourselves up to the promise of what's next. To, okay, God, you're giving me this, or whoever you believe in, I'm here. But I know part of this is so that because this is part of my journey. You knew this was going to happen from the day you created me. And so you didn't put this here to destroy me. It's part of who I'm becoming so that I can be stronger in this next phase. And we have to own that as much as we own the weight of the grief or the loss or the pain or the miss of the goal or the whatever we have in this world that we experience. We have to get to the next part. I was listening to a podcast the other day and they said, this woman was dreading the death of her mother. And she was telling her therapist, I'm dreading the death of my mother. Her mother was in the hospital, not expected to live. And her therapist's response was, you aren't a person who has lost a mother, so you shouldn't know how to handle this yet. When it happens, you will learn the skills you need to learn to be the person who can handle this. And so you, having experienced this loss, are now stronger than you were before. You are not weaker. And if we give in to the thief, we do become weaker. So we have to hold the promise of, no, I was made for this because my Creator has known this was coming all along. And so this obstacle, whatever the obstacle is, you're broke, right? You've lost your child, you've lost your spouse, you're facing a health crisis. Your Creator has known this was part of your journey from your creation. He built you to sustain this and to benefit from it. And we've got to embrace that side. So I didn't mean to turn this into a preaching session. I hope you don't feel like I was preaching at you. It probably sounds a little bit like I was, but I want us to hold on. There's a but, guys. There's always a but. It's always a this is gonna happen or this happened to me. But we've got to. John Gardner was like, this is a blessing, Elizabeth. Our job is to figure out what's good about it. Because the faster we look for the good, the faster the good will come. And that's getting to the but part. But I have come to give you life that you may have it more abundantly. And we don't know what that abundance looked like. It's certainly not bringing back the people we've lost. It certainly may not be restoring our health. It may not be in the way we think. But abundance in God's eyes is going to be okay, I think, with any of us, right? If God says you're going to have life abundantly, if we lean into the abundance, we're going to be blessed. So thank you for letting me step into your moment. Well, you didn't allow me to. I just took over, so I'm sorry. But anyway, I'm sorry, not sorry. That's one of my moments. But thank you. All right, everybody, it is, because I took up after the moment. Thank you all. Thank you, Coach Bell, for giving us the path, the direction. Guys, listen, if there was ever a moment for you to act on something that you heard on a call, not just walk away and go do your day like you were planning. If there was ever a moment for you to take action and lean in to who you are, lean in to your own personal alignment, now would be that time. Today would be that day. When is today going to be your today? Today is that day. So thank you all. Thank you, Coach Bell. Y'all have an amazing week. And we'll see you right back here next Monday. Bye, everybody.